episode of Chasing Mysteries Gardens. I'm Rebecca, and along with my wife Karen, we are on a mission to renovate and rejuvenate our little piece of earth. I went out into the garden today, and I noticed that our beans have just exploded. There are so many on the plants, so I went ahead and harvested a whole basket of them. I'm not sure how many are here, but there are a lot. So I'm hoping that this is enough to fill our jars, because today we are going to make dilly beans. The recipe for these dilled beans can be found in the Ball Home Preserving book. The things that you will need for this recipe are your green beans. Also, you will need sweet bell peppers. Today I am using red, yellow, and orange. White vinegar, water, pickling salt, garlic, black peppercorns. I am going to add some extra crunch to each jar. We will also need dill sprigs. If you do not have fresh dill, you may substitute with dill seed, and the amount for the substitution is listed in the recipe. We will also need our pint jars, lids, and rings. I am choosing to use the wide mouth jars simply because it will be easier to pack the green beans and vegetables into the jar. I'm not going to show you the entire process today. If you're interested in water bath canning, I did do an extensive pickling recipe. I showed you a couple of different pickling recipes, and we bought water bath canned all of that. So I will show you that process. I will also link our strawberry canning recipe where I also did water bath canning for that. So let's get started on this adventure in dilly beans. These beans are growing like crazy. It came out yesterday and literally this bean was to here. And just not even 24 hours later, it's all the way down here. So these are really fast growing and they taste absolutely delicious. What you want, a tip for picking your green beans, is that instead of picking it off from the stem right here, from like right here, the stem part, if you just use your fingernail and cut it below the stem, you don't have to pick that off when you get inside. So these ones up here are going to be super hard to reach because I am short. They're still a little bit small, so I'll leave those up there. Yum. I was in here picking the green beans. I moved the leaves aside. Look at the size of that thing. Pick this as well. Oh yeah. The bumblebees are still hard at work. When you're picking these, you want to try to make sure that you don't knock off any leaves, knock off any flowers, because the flowers are what turn into the bean, and if you knock them off, then you don't get any beans. So try to be careful when you're digging in there for the beans. Not only did we get this lovely basket full of beans, we also found 2 celebrity and 3 Roma tomatoes, and 5 cucumbers. Looks like more pickles are in my future. And dilly beans. I have already sterilized my jars, but you want to do that first. Then you want to add your vinegar, water, and salt into a stainless steel pan and heat that up to just about boiling to get the salt to dissolve, and that will be the brine. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is a dill head. It's kind of hard to see. And each one of these is called a sprig. And then the dill that grows down the stem are called fronds. So this recipe calls for 1 sprig of dill in each jar, but I really love dill. So I'm going to put 1 sprig plus a couple of fronds in each one. Each jar also called for 1 clove of garlic each. We need 3 peppercorns in each jar. It's okay if you get not exactly 3. As well as 1/8 of a teaspoon of the extra crunch. So when you put the vegetables in, you want the vegetables to go in so that there is at least a 1/2 inch of headspace. So we want to make sure that all of our beans are about this long. And you just want to pack them all in there nice and tight with the bell pepper strips as well. Make sure that when you're cutting these beans that you don't throw away these ends. You can put these in a pot and cook them up and eat them for a meal. They are just as delicious as the whole bean. So you want to pack your jars as much as you possibly can. Actually, I'm going to try to squeeze in another piece of this pepper down in here where this garlic clove space is. So try to fill as much as you can, as tight as you can. Again, leaving a 1/2 inch. You just don't want the tops of the vegetables to be touching the lid. So I'm fighting daylight here because I'm working outside, but it looks like I've got enough for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jars, plus 1 jar of what I like to call dilly ends, and it's just the end of the beans and the tops of the peppers. So I will get all of these processed here soon. There you have it, our dilly beans. 5 cans of dilly beans and 1 can of dilled ends. We will let these cool for 24 hours and then put them in our storage. While I was busy doing this outside, Karen was busy inside making about 1 million loaves of zucchini bread. And there's more in the oven. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more. And as always, Suki Suki. Love the earth, love yourself, love each other, and love some dilly beans. Till next time.